Well, good morning, stamping friends. My name is Lorri Heiling, and thank you so much for joining me this Tuesday morning. I have a fun holiday slash Christmas type card to show you today, but before we jump into that, I want to just remind you of the Designer Series paper sale going on. Look at all the different choices you have. There's so many fun designs, and a lot of them are Christmas ones, so you can get going on your holiday projects way before the holiday rush. So I encourage you to take advantage of that. You can save 15% of all of these Designer Series papers. So just watch for the link on my blog or my Facebook page, and I hope you enjoy that little sale going on. It's through the whole month of October. Also, don't forget to use the host code here if you don't mind when you order from my Stampin' Up! Website. That would be awesome. So today I'm going to show you the card before I create it. Isn't that a fun wintry card? Those little owls are so cute. It's called the Have a Hoot bundle that I used, and then on the inside it just says, "From all of us, Merry Christmas." So let me share with you how I made this. So you're going to start with Balmy blue cardstock, and this cardstock is 6.5 inches by 5.5 inches. And you are going to want to score on the long side at 4.25 inches. So just go ahead and fold on that score line. And then one of the Designer Series papers that is on sale is the Snowflake one. Let me get the actual name of it. Snowflake Splendor. And this piece of Designer Series paper is cut to 5.25 by 2. I do my little cheat sheet on the back side, so I don't always have to have my ruler here. And we're just going to put that on the flap on top here. All right, then the next thing we're going to do is cut out a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and I use Stitch So Sweetly, and this is, let me measure, it's the largest scalloped die, and it's going to be 4 inches by about 2 3/4 inches. So, and then what I did on the back, look where I put my dimensionals. I put them just on the top here. Let me turn it that way. Just on the top, and then about halfway down. And the reason I did that is because if you put them all the way on the bottom, your card is going to be glued shut. I'll show you what I mean after I take these off the back. And then if you noticed, I embossed it with the Winter Snow embossing folder. So there's snowflakes on the back there. I'm not sure if you can see that. And I am just going to center that. Let me see if yep, I did center it. Right about there. Now, that's the reason we didn't put the dimensionals lower. If you put them here, it's going to be glued shut. All right, that's that part. Now let's create that real pretty shimmery tree on the front. What I did was I took, let me get scrap paper here because I'm going to be using WInk of Stella on here. And what I did before I was live here is I set this on here, and you can see that the tree is too big for here. So I just set it on top here, and I made little lines where I wanted to cut it because I want it to match that stitched line here. And so I just took a pencil and made marks. So let me grab my snips here, and I'm just going to cut on those lines. Part of the tree, like I said, will be cut off. So there's that part, and then looks like I went about right here. And don't worry if it's you know, kind of in the middle of things, it's okay. If you cut off some branches, that way when we put it on here, it's gonna not be going off your page here. So that looks good. Now let's shimmer that up. Just take your WInk of Stella, and when you buy a new one, there's going to be a black ring around here, and that's so it doesn't accidentally get squeezed when it's being shipped to you or whatever. But I already took mine off, and all you do is unscrew it and then take that ring off, and then put it back on. All right, let's open it up, and we are just going to shimmer that whole thing. And what's nice about Wink of Stella is that it's translucent. I guess that's the word. You can see through it. So if you did this on top of blue paper, it would have a blue shimmer. We're doing it on white, so it's just going to have a white glistening look. And I just went over solid over the whole thing. If it looks like it's not coming out, you just need to squeeze the barrel of it, and then some more will come out, but mine's pretty juiced up, so I probably won't need it. We'll see if I run out. If I do, I'll just squeeze it. But when you squeeze it, do it off the paper, because usually a pretty big blop comes out, and you don't want it to be too much on there. All right, I can see as I'm doing this that there's a couple little pieces that I forgot to poke out. So let me get my paper piercer tool and just poke all those out. All right, it's still a little bit wet, but I'm going to see if I can maybe try to poke those out there. One more. Sorry about this. That looks pretty good. Okay, now I think, well, maybe I'll leave that there just in case it's still not dry. All right, now we can take the front of the card, and you can use liquid glue on this. You can probably use snail. You may, oh, I should have used my adhesive sheets. I finally got those, and I'm anxious to try them. But sometimes I don't want the whole thing to be stuck down. Like this may be one of those cases, because you want the branches to kind of poke up a little bit to make it a little bit 3D. So, excuse me, let's see how that goes. All right, now we're just going to place it on the front. Line up that edge where you cut it off. The sides, I don't think we need that anymore. There you go. And you can see if you want to trim that off, I don't mind it going up a little bit, but I just didn't want to hang over that edge. So now let's work on the little owls. We'll finish the front before we get to the inside. So, oh boy, where's my scrap paper to stamp my owls on? Here it is. So I took the group of owls that's on the branch, and I'm going to use Memento Black. Remember, when you use blends, this is really the only ink pad that will work, because if you use Stays On, it'll blend the colors, and you don't want that. So just stamp that, and then let's color them in. And I know this won't take very long, but I just want to show you the colors that I used so that it matches the designer series paper. So the first one is dark purple posy, and for these tiny little guys, I like to use the smaller end of the blend rather than the larger end, because I just have better control over it, and they're such tiny pieces. So that was dark purple posy. The next one is going to be dark balmy blue. We're going to make all these identical. You could change them up if you wanted, but I just did them all the same to make it easy. Then the next one I'm going to do is this dark pumpkin pie. That you can barely even see this. Just make a little dot where all the noses are. Like I said, you can barely even see it. The next one, I want to make all the owls a little bit different colors. So the first one, I'm going to do light gray granite. And this is very similar to Smoky Slate, light Smoky Slate. So if you have that one, that'll work as well. And then the next one I'm going to do in, this is dark crumb cake. Again, the smaller end. Just color that one in. I'm going to leave all their feet because I'm going to do their feet all the same color as soon as I get to one other one I want to use. All right. And don't forget the wings. Oopsie, guess what? I forgot his wing over here. I did that the first time I made this too. All right, the next one is dark smoky slate. We'll make this guy that color. And this one, we're going to color the whole thing, even his feet, because I'm going to go back and make all the feet dark gray. These are such tiny pieces here. All right, and then the last one is going to be light soft suede. I love this color. I use this one whenever I'm doing wood things like a sled or anything light smoke or light soft suede is one of my go-to colors. All right, that's what I used to color them all in. And then I did go ahead and pre-cut it so that I didn't have to bring my my die cutting machine over here. And now we're gonna take our paper snips and we're gonna cut 2 of them apart. It doesn't work to keep the 4 of them together because they're so straight. It just doesn't lie right on the branch. So we're gonna cut 2 apart. You might have to kind of go around so there's not sharp edges, but it's super simple because most of it's cut out already. All right, so there's our 2 little groups of owls. Then we're just gonna put some dimensionals on the back. Oh boy, I have stuff everywhere and then I can't find them. So I guess I'll grab a new pack. I like to use my paper piercer tool when I pull these off because sometimes when you have fingernails, it's you know, hard to pick things up. All right, this one stuck to me. Is everybody getting ready for Halloween as I work on Christmas cards? I finally got all my decorations out yesterday, so that's always fun. It gets me more in the fall mood, even though it's still over 100 degrees here in Arizona. All right, now the second group. I love the little guy. He's kind of like jumping up in the air because he's excited. So I made sure he looked like he was kind of jumping up when I placed him on here, like that. Now there's one other thing I want to show you, and you can add little embellishments like this. These little snowflake adhesive sticker thingies are so cute to just add a couple more touches. They're iridescent again, so they're going to grab color and just look, it's going to pick up some blues and stuff. It's kind of a pearl looking. And so just pull some of these and place them randomly, and it's going to give a little bit of shine to your card. Let's see, let's put one in here. You get quite a few on a sheet, so I'm going to be generous with these. Let's go one down here. Let's do one more here, and then we'll work on the inside of the card right here. All right, can you see how it shines with the light for the Wink of Stella on the branches? It kind of sets it off from that background. All right, now for the inside, I just took another piece of Designer Series paper, and this one is 5 1/4 by 4. And we'll put adhesive on the back of that and just kind of center that. And we're going to see the bottom part of this when it's shut. Isn't that pretty? I love how Purple Posy is pulled into that color. The next one we're going to do is Purple Posy. It's 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. And we're going to put snail on the back of that. Now we're going to center it, but before we put it down, we want to make sure that it really looks nice underneath that and centered. So you may have to place this here before you put it down to make sure that it's centered on that front white part like that. So this one is a little bit off. That means I didn't center that exactly, but you want it to look like it's centered when you close it like that. All right, and then the last one is just Whisper White, and we're going to put this in the center right here, and the dimensions are 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. So again, just add snail, and this one really doesn't have to match up other than, whoops, in the middle here. So I'll do my best to center that. You won't really see this one when the card is closed, like that. Now for the words on the inside, I chose From All of Us, Merry Christmas. And I'm just going to do this one in Balmy Blue. I put both stamps on one, then I don't have to try to line up 2 of them like that. And then just for kicks, and because I have so many of these, I'm going to add a few more of the snowflake. They're not really sequins because they do have adhesive on the back, and remember, I think it's best to work in odd numbers, so I always use 3 or 5 for the numbers when I'm adding little embellishments. So just like that. There you have it. I think we are done. I'll move all my stuff. So there's today's card. I hope you enjoy it. And this Have a Hoot is such an awesome set to work with. Remember, there's Halloween in there, and you could use that for birthday or Christmas. It's just a really fun set, and I've enjoyed playing with this. So I hope you enjoyed the project today. Have a great rest of your week, and we will see you again on Friday morning. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.